Hello, friends. Welcome to the Come and Chaos podcast. I'm Dooms,
I'm D-Boy.
and this is the Come and Chaos podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Jesus Christ, man, it's been a while since we've done this. Can you still hold the mic? I don't know, like,
Bruh.
it feels weird. You
You
know?
need to get comfortable.
If there's one thing I don't want to put in my mouth,
It's the hilarious part. Like, getting comfortable, is it episode 1 officially?
this is episode 1.
Okay, welcome to
I
episode
think-
1.
But why you asking that question? Somebody who's watching the podcast for the first time will be asking that. Why are you asking that? Like, we did have the Come and Chaos podcast. We'll call that like pre-production.
Mark 1.
yeah,
Version 1 of the
that's
Come and
version
Chaos
one.
podcast.
This is the revised version of the podcast.
Yes.
Yeah. How have you been, man? It's 5 years ago.
Bro, it's been
In
a
front of the
minute.
mic. I've been dreaming about it every day since, to be honest.
You've been dreaming about a mic in your mouth for 5 years. But no, I joke, I kid.
Pause.
But no,
Yeah.
it's been. I've been missing this, man. I think offline we have spoken about a reiteration of this. We've spoken about a revised version of this. Another episode 1, and I think I'm excited for this. I'm
Yeah.
definitely excited for this.
5 years ago, how many kids you had?
I had one. I had like a 1-year-old or some shit.
Jeez.
Now I have a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old who I'm hoping are not making noise at the back.
They can run in here anytime.
Anytime,
So,
so
please, guys, don't mind that. It's just kids.
It's just
you know,
kids, it's kids.
they don't take rules to them are invisible.
Yeah.
And somebody told us to stop beating kids. Like, do you beat your kids, dog? And remember your answer. Think about it, because we are live on video.
Oh, but you say that like it does something. But no, I don't. I don't actually.
And then
I
where
leave
you get that advice?
I leave that to the wife. No, I think. No, honestly,
Yeah.
I just don't. I don't know why. I think all the memories where I was beaten up, I sort of have them in my head, and they're sort of distinct. Like they're in my head. I remember the particular time.
Yeah.
The time I beat me, or the particular time already beat me. So I'm like, nah, man. I don't want to have those memories etched into my kid's head. And like, imagine, bro. Like, we're on video. Whoever's listening on audio, so I just showed my hand just to be like, nah.
Yeah.
It's too big of a hand on a kid's face.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
but now, I don't know. Like, so now, parenting skills, is it something that's taught, or is it like something which is just as and when required? Like, do you learn it on the way, or are you copying your parents in any way? Since you saying your parents beat you, and now you're not beating your little ones. So like,
Shit, wait, we're 2 minutes into the episode. It's deep as hell. No, that's a good question, man. I think like literally it's just a by circumstance thing. I think parenting is a by circumstance thing. So like in a second you feel like, okay, cool, I wouldn't do this until you find yourself doing it, or like my dad did this, so I'm not gonna do it, and then you find yourself doing it. That's the messed up part about parenting. The shit you said you would never do.
yeah,
Because you saw from your dad, sometimes those are the things you
you
end
get
up.
to see why he did it.
You're like, fuck. I get why the homie did that shit. You start relating more, like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
I fully understand. So yeah, I think it's a case by case system, and then sometimes you take from what was, and you're like, okay, this worked with me, so I'll use it. Or you go like, okay, this I hate it, so I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah.
So I think it's a case by case circumstance. So
Yeah, dude. I know we are like just starting the podcast,
Yeah.
and you know we were looking for a Hollywood entrance, but fuck that. Let's just go right into it. I'm gonna put you on the spot a little bit, because now I'm very interested. I got one kid, and it's a boy.
I didn't ask, so
Yeah.
I guess I'm the asshole. I know, guys. By the way, I do know.
So, but now I'm wondering the dynamic. Raising a kid, boy, fucking hardest thing in the world, because they don't listen at all. So I just wanted to know from your experience with a female. Okay, let me not say female.
With a daughter.
Labeling it as a 3-year-old female sounds wrong. Like something. Oh my shit! But we should say that with all this shit happening,
That's
where kids
probably
have to actually
politically
choose
correct.
it.
That's probably the
Because they still
politically
have to
correct.
choose their gender, right?
Yeah, I think it's a crime every time I call her my daughter. I think she still hasn't given me permission.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah.
So now, when you're raising your son, how is it similar? I mean, what are the differences with the daughter now? Like, what do you like? The obvious thing that you like. Do you shout less? Are you trying to become already now? Because I mean, I feel like women listen different than how men listen to, and they're a little bit softer. So if you beat your son, I don't see you beating your daughter the same way. Which I must say, shout out to my mom. She did the same for both. She didn't give a fuck.
It was equal, right?
Yeah, it was equal.
The back end was fair.
Yo, dog. Hopefully, like, when they would say, yo, go to the bedroom. When you get to the bedroom, there's a fucking stick on the fucking bed. And they tell you, I bring it here.
You just know what the fuck is about to go down.
Yeah.
No, literally, that's why I'm telling you about the beatings. I'll come back to your question, but like about beatings. I have a beating I particularly remember, bro. Like, you know, when you did something wrong. I think I lost my school shoes or something. And then they gave me, bro, I played soccer I played soccer in break or some dumb shit. And then I'm like, nah, like I lost my first pair of school shoes. They're like, nah, not again. They bought me a pair. I lost them again. They're like, nah, okay, just make sure. And then I come back. I remember when I was walking home, holding one shoe, and I was like, nah, I'm screwed. And then when I got home, my dad was just like, you lost your shoes again? No, my mom. Like, you lost your shoes again? I'm like, yeah. They're like, okay, no, sharp. Just go to the bedroom and wait for your dad. And I'm just hyped like crazy. Yeah. So I'm just there thinking, like, how is this even a thing? Yeah. And then when I get to the bedroom, I'm waiting for my dad. I think my mom pulled one of those hype up shits. Because when by the time my dad walked in, he was hyped.
I know exactly what you mean.
I'm like, Ukati when you were coached. Oh, like you're not doing this from your own will. Look at your wife hyped you up.
Dude, you should credit the wife for that. Bro. Dog, like she will hype you up from the very first moment. Like you wouldn't believe what your son did. You don't believe it. Exactly. The dad is just walking in nicely, and then now he's getting into it. Like, you know, I'm like, yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, but yeah, continue with your story.
Precisely. Yeah, by the time he came in, bro, that all else whipping is etched in my memory. Like, it's just etched. And were
you injured or something?
No, it's just one of those, like...
It's too vivid.
It's vivid, because my boys came through. My friends came through. They're like, oh, where's the homie want to play? And they're like, no. This is after the beating, by the way, right? this is the fucked up part. Yeah. After the beating, my boys come through. When my boys come through, they're like, oh, where's D-Boy? Yeah. Tendani at the time, they called me. Where's D-Boy? Yeah. And they're like, oh, he's in the bedroom. After, you know you beat me up. You know I don't want my boys to see me like this. Yeah. And they're like, nah, he's in the bedroom. They come in, I'm just there, bro. I'm just there, like fetal position vibes, just like, this is even worse than the beating. Like, my boys are gonna see me like this. And imagine, like, this. How
old were you?
I might have been maybe 10, 11. So imagine a 10, 11-year-old getting comforted by his boys. It's just like, oh, no, dog.
Cragging.
Exactly. But okay, I say that to say I cannot imagine the same would have happened for like a daughter. Because when I had my son, I thought I had softened up, bro. Yeah. Like I thought I'd maxed out the softness I have. Yeah. I thought like, no, this is peak soft. I'd never be as soft and gentle with a person. And then once I had the daughter, I was just gone. Yeah. Bro. Like now mushy as hell. Dog. Jeez. I'm mushy as hell. She gets away with everything. And the first iteration of the podcast, she was not even here. So I'm softer now. Yeah. I hope that works with the podcast.
Yeah, I hope it helps. You know, I feel like a softer version of the podcast, but I can't be the hard one as well. Because I mean, when we recorded the first what are we gonna call it? The first season.
The first iteration. I want to call
iteration.
It the pilot, the tester.
Yeah. We were 5 episodes in. I had no kids then, but now I think I've got a paranoia.
Is it?
Yeah, my paranoia always stems from like, what if something happens to me?
Sheesh.
Like that one scares me. I mean, like life insurance can do so much. So I'm always thinking about like not being there at all. Like that's scary as hell. And now you gotta feel now when I'm there, I'm thinking about the niggas that are not there at all for their kids from start to now. And I'm thinking, geez, are they having a hard time, or do you adapt to it as time goes on? That you don't have I mean, you have your child, but you're not in their lives. Like,
No,
how do you get to a point where you like, I don't care, I don't get it.
Nah, I think deadbeats have the best time in the world. Like I really think very few things are as nice as being a deadbeat, dog. Like you don't care, bro. That shit gotta be
But
nice.
what does nice mean, dog? Like,
It means clearly these people are peaceful in there. There's no way you'd feel the way you feel, like what you just described, and then just be absent from the get-go. That means you do not have that buffer. You don't have that filter that scares you. Ish. What's happening there? In my absence, who the hell is teaching this kid to be a man one day? Or who the hell is teaching this girl how to be raised, how to be treated by men one day? So if you don't have that fear at all, you don't have that thought process, it's gotta be a great time.
yeah, we've got a different
Ignorance
definition.
is bliss, dog.
Ignorance is bliss, but
So
not in
clearly
this case, dog. Like, I feel like this is the worst thing you could ignore in your life. This is like your fucking sperm, your cum.
No,
like,
again-
imagine you come on the floor and you just walk out. How many times have you came on the floor and just left that shit right there? I'm sure every time you drop that,
You're like, oh, shit.
Oh, let me take care of this. Somebody gotta take care of this.
Somebody gonna deal with this.
You're not gonna just leave it there like, it'll evaporate. Nah, you wanna take care of that shit as quick as possible.
Nah, that's definitely fair. That's fair. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think how I perceive it is definitely very different from the person doing it. I don't think like as we perceive them, they're great people. But I think one of themselves individually, clearly they're having the greatest times of their life. Like, clearly there's just peace in them.
Nah.
Yeah.
But I think it's circumstantial, dog. Like, sometimes, dog, there's nothing more said than Mautaba Tlangoba in their kid's life, and the mom is just being mean, dog.
Dog.
Like, you don't know how ferocious a woman is until you do the worst to her.
Yeah.
Like, what's worse than a woman stopping you from seeing your child? Like, I don't think there's anything worse than that. Because now, you are willing, you're doing everything in your mind, dog. I heard stories, like, of guys who literally are crying. And the worst thing is the court system. Oh, boy. You don't want to see yourself there as a man, dog.
They don't fuck with your tears.
They don't fuck with shit for men.
They don't care. They don't care that you're crying.
Now that we're talking about it, whether you're getting divorced, you lost your kid, blah, 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 that shit don't favor
Fuck
you.
your tears.
They don't favor you as
You
a
are
man, dog.
Screw out of here.
Like, and nobody's out there to change that. But I think somebody has to, there has to be like some cool heads that have to prevail in this situation. A guy saying that, look, I want to be there, I want to do everything, but the scorn of a woman, like, you do it, dude, you know that, okay, your visitation time is the weekend. You call the lady on the weekend, yo, babe. Okay, now you can't say baby because you guys broke up. But when you call in and saying, yo, can I come pick up the kid? And she says no. Like, what can you do? Okay, there's kids in the background.
There's kids in the background, so I'm worried about the audio.
Yeah,
so whoever's on video probably saw that. So I'm just gonna try to get them quiet a bit.
So, but anyway, all I'm saying is that, there should be a sort of a system, a test. A litmus test to say, okay, this guy wants to be there. Oh, but anyway, going back to the story then, you literally go there on a weekend or a tangwana and stuff. She's like, no.
No.
Yeah.
Just like a plain no.
Yeah, like, no. And then,
Why?
No. She hates you.
No,
She
why?
fucking hates you. You know what you put her through. So she's going to deal with you through this. The court's already ordered that, no, your visitation time is on Saturday, Sunday. Between, but dog. By the way, raising a child through those visitation rides is hell. Like,
Yeah,
what the hell are you gonna do on the Saturday, dog?
Between what?
Between
8
1
a.m. and 4 p.m. or something. That shit.
Dude, you're like a friend to the
crazy.
child, dog.
That's crazy.
It's like
man.
the friend is gonna come visit you on a weekend. Just gonna do some fun shit and then go back home. But
That's
anyway,
crazy.
that has to change, dog. But anyway, enough with the kids.
Look at us studying deep. What? That I just want to state that
That was not the
this is
plan.
going to be significantly a different iteration of this podcast.
Damn.
Because I don't think we intended to be deep on the gate, but
Yeah, that's where we find ourselves, man.
the Spirit has led us there. Are you about to preach that?
No, dog. I think that's enough with our kids. Okay, but at least now the audience would establish that you are 2 kids in. and I've got one little one. At least I feel like, it's the first episode, so let's just, introduce ourselves in a more, let's personalize the podcast. I mean, like, people are, like, somebody's gonna tune in and literally know nothing about us. So at least we gave away one or two things. So I think it should give a personal touch to the podcast. I think that's enough now.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna be a bit more candid. What happened with the first iteration? To my understanding,
You did our previous podcast.
Yeah, listen to me speaking as if I was not part of it. So it was first couple of episodes. There was four of us.
Sorry to cut you off. People who always tell the story. Hey, they're always acting like they were not there, especially the girls. Like, she'll be there telling you, yo, I was with Petunia and whoever, Molokhadi. Hey, Molokhadi, she was with two guys going outside, blah, blah, blah. Petunia, what the fuck were you doing?
What were you doing?
We're not knowing that, just writing the story. Like, what the fuck were you doing? Like, she'll tell you every detail about what everybody else is doing. And, mind you, the other one has also a version which he's gonna
not
tell.
Involved. Yeah, it's all you now.
Yeah,
it's all about your girl now.
Bruv, yeah.
Your girl did this, your girl did that.
So what's your version? Like, what happened?
My version is we started off the podcast with 4 mics. No, that's the most. That was actually one of the horrible things. Is that when we started off the podcast, we literally had 3 mics.
Yeah.
We just had 4 voices.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
Yeah.
And then it was like, okay, now this doesn't work. It's too many voices, which I think everybody could agree with.
Yeah.
And then
a podcast, I feel like, when you're podcasting, actually, now I know we are podcasting and we are saying the word podcast. It's like being on radio and saying, being on radio.
Yeah.
No. But anyway, I feel like when you're podcasting, a little bit of, but if you, sorry, it's my first episode, guys. Forgive me. But you see how the Joe Biden podcast is now? There's like 8 or 9 people on there. That's like a buzz full or something.
it's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people, so it becomes difficult for the viewer to like select a favorite. Like me and you were polarizing together. Like somebody would be like, yeah, D-Boy is something I connect to better than they, and they'll be more on your side in certain like preference and all that. But now when there's 8 people on that thing,
how do you choose, man?
Like man, I'm hopping around everybody, and I feel like that's what causes the podcast to hit like 4 or 5 hours. Because now you're listening to everybody's opinion about different things and all that, so that can be a bit draining and all that. But you can go back to your story.
Which is the thing that explains. I think that generally, fully, and I agree, explains what happened the first couple of episodes of our first iteration. I think in the second version of it, not second, but like third episode onwards, I feel we made the mistake of this feels like breaking the fourth wall, but like we did make the mistake of attempting to guest our people off. Like so it was like, no, once we get that first guest, then this and this and that.
Dog, do you remember?
So let's not talk about that particular guest we had. But it was like edits on edits and topic alignment on topic alignment. So it felt a bit.
But dog, one thing which I always regret that we never got to do was, you know how desperate we wanted to get Ricky on,
bro.
So we really wanted to get.
I wanna call myself Nostradamus because of that. Like literally, we had a conversation, one of our deeper conversations where because at the time he had stated that he wants to retire because he's not feeling. He doesn't feel like himself on stage. And we had like a deep conversation about it. I think it was episode 4 of season 1. And then we spoke about it, and G was who were with was stating that doesn't make sense. Actually, to quote, you cannot be depressed in a Range Rover. That's a direct quote. So like I listened to that and I was like, I can't believe I spoke to somebody's mental position like that. Because I remember directly stating the kids, guys.
We need to get a studio.
We need to get a proper studio. I remember directly stating what I perceived to be his mental state at the time, and for it to
on a serious note,
for it to play out the way it played out, it's really it's one of those things you don't want to know that you predicted. So from now on, I'm gonna have stopped predicting things on the podcast.
Yeah.
Or at least maybe only predict good things. So yeah.
Yeah, man.
Definitely.
So much has happened, bro.
So much has happened, bro.
Like a lot has happened. Like, but one thing about me, even though we're not podcasting, every time something happened, I was like, "Yo, bro, why are we not on this thing?" Like, you know, like I was so interested in hearing your side. Like, how could this go? WhatsApp text is not enough, guys.
Definitely,
Like,
definitely.
I mean, it feels like you're not going deep into it. But now hearing somebody's thoughts on audio. So you can play it back. How stupid is this guy?
Yeah. That's the thing. You can voice note. You can voice note all you like. You can WhatsApp all you like, but it just doesn't have the same impact as a recorded version of your opinions.
Yeah.
As this is.
All right, not enough about our previous podcast. I'm sure we're like 1.5 hours in.
Yeah.
Speaking about our previous podcast.
So what's happening with you now? What are your interests now? Dude, if I may ask.
I've got a lot of since then. One habit that I've picked up, I'm sure my girl is tired of this shit, but one thing that I've picked up now is a habit of watching combat sport.
Combat sport?
I don't know, it's an addiction now. Like, there's nothing else that interests me the way it does. Like now, you know, we used to watch EPL, like that's all we were worried about. Now I can miss, if there's 10 fixtures over the weekend, I can miss 9 of them. Just catch the Liverpool one. Sorry. But that's the one. But all the games are hot, you know?
Yeah.
But now, the way I'm so into combat sport, I don't even know where that came from. But it's just, over the years, the development, I have to give credit to the UFC. The way they've been able to get deals which are able to bring combat sport to the rest of the world. That's like one of the biggest new upcoming sports which has been marketed in such a way that you know, you can appreciate. Should I shout out the president of the UFC?
Shout out Dana White.
Yeah,
Is that his name?
Yeah, that's correct.
Cool.
Yeah, so you know what's happening.
I have no idea. I have an idea, but I'm not so versed.
So Dana White, right? Now that we're actually speaking about him, a lot of people have a lot of reservations about him, and okay, obviously the pay thing is the biggest thing in the UFC, where they feel like, you know, the fighters are not being paid enough and all that. But you know, Dana White, he's one of the only sports presidents who actually, after every event, he speaks to the media. Who's the EPL commissioner?
I have no idea.
When did you see somebody from the top brass of the EPL give an interview? When last?
Shit, like...
Do you see how difficult it would be? But this guy commits that after every event that they have, he sits down during the presser, opens himself up to any question that they might have. And those UFC media guys are brutal.
Yeah.
Like, they go off rumors, they go on Twitter, they ask the most crazy questions, and he deviates from them in such a way that, you know, sometimes he's answering is trash. But I feel like he's curtailed for such kind of press conferences where
he volunteered himself.
Yeah, he volunteered himself, and then you can understand that for that type of sport, the predictions are difficult. What's going to happen next is difficult. Unlike, you know, when you're watching the EPL, you know exactly what's playing next week and the week after and that week after. But here, today, what happens today gets to determine what's the next fixture and all that. So it becomes a very difficult thing to navigate. So I know... If somebody sees this clip and says, yo, I'm giving Dana White some props, I'll probably get cancelled because, the media doesn't like him that much. Okay, some of the top brass MMA media, not so much into him. But I give him credit for that. Going out and facing the media all the time, that's a very difficult thing.
These are voluntary press conferences.
That's the most random questions. Like, last week, one of the poster boys of the UFC lost.
What do you mean? You're about to cry now because Easy lost. I'm talking about Easy, right?
I'm talking about Easy, dog. Fuck, man. Like, I'm always rewatching that fight, right? And I'm trying to find a spark from Easy from that fight. And I don't find anything. Because now, everybody in the world who follows MMA expected this to be the easiest fight for Easy. Excuse my pun. Easy. So... when the match... Okay, so now I'm looking at the guys entering the ring. Sean Strickland walking in. I'm looking at him. He looks nervous. He looks like this is a place he's never been before. He's never been in a championship
As-
fight.
as he should,
As he
as he
should.
should.
He's
Uh-huh.
walking in, looking a bit nervous and all that. And then he enters the ring. And then second take, you get easy. Israel Adesanya walking into the cage. You can see he's familiar with this place. This is his
this is a
playground.
home, dog.
He's telling you, you can look at him and you can tell that this guy's been here. You know, he's giving me that feeling when, you know, Strickland gives me the feeling when you gonna have sex for the first time.
Like when you're nervous. Like I'm a virgin coming into this.
But is there anything that makes a person more nervous than that? I know driving comes close, but that has to be like one of the most nervous, triggering emotions. Like when you're gonna have sex for the first time, I don't know, you're preparing. You always feel like you're under-prepared.
Significantly.
Like you feel like, yo, man, I'm not ready for this shit.
That's
And-
literally, oh shit. Yeah.
And now you're already
I
talking.
can recognize all the emotions you just described, so I can imagine. But yeah.
Dude, we were in the same high school, right?
Yeah, we
I
were.
I have to share the story now. I got the podcast.
Okay, what happened?
Like, I think we were in grade 10 or something like that.
Uh-huh.
I must have been dating some young girl.
Somebody.
Yeah.
I'm assuming the people listening.
Yeah, whoever was in high school with me will probably remember, but I'm not gonna give away names of this one. So now, I'm dating this girl. She's a little bit fast for me. You know? And she's always suggesting things, and you know I haven't been there yet. Oh fuck, I'm deviating from the UFC, but I'll circle back.
Yeah. You're Sean Strickland in this case.
Hey, I'm sure Strickland in this case, dog.
Okay.
Like, you know what happens? You know, this girl, she must have wore the shortest skirts in school, dog.
Yeah.
She must have. She was young, but everybody had an opinion about her. That's why I think I was from like a long-term relationship when what was I? Like the mom saying it like, dude, I was
It's like,
16,
what are you-
I
you
was
were-
16
yeah,
years
yeah.
old. Why was I in a relationship? But anyway, I must have. No. I was 16 years old. Why am I coming out of a long-term relationship? Like what's?
That was probably like a 6-month relationship. That's the hilarious part.
That's
long term.
Yeah, that's long term.
Yeah.
In high school, that's long term.
Yeah.
Dating this young little girl. Okay, now this is sounding wrong. I should not say that. Young little girl.
Relative
Guys,
to-
I was 16 years old. I was 16. I think she must have been 15 or so.
Yeah.
So now, you know, in school, they used to trust certain students.
Yeah.
All the students which you teachers in high school, you see
Trusted.
all those little students
Those
trusting
ones.
with the keys and all that.
Those particular ones.
Those are wrong ones. I don't know how you choose them, but it's always the wrong ones that gets picked. But anyway, I think I was not okay. No. I was not the class captain or anything like that. But I was friends with the guy who had the keys. So that let me describe the classroom. So it would be a classroom, and it would have a little storeroom at the back. So this little girl, why do I keep saying little girl?
This girl, dog.
This girl,
Yeah.
she was little then. I was little too. Anyway, but she must have told me that, yeah, man, I hear people are having sex in the storeroom. I mean, I think we should try. I'm like, okay. Yeah, I've done that before. So yeah, we're gonna try this. Like we're gonna literally try this shit. You know, so obviously I have to call a council meeting when I get back to
With the homies, like, dog.
now I'm calling all the homies who I think might have done this before. You know? Probably 2% of them have done that, but the one who has never done it has the most to say about this shit.
So now you call a council
I
meeting.
call a
You're like, hey,
council
boys.
meeting. The homies that I called, no.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, guys, I've got this situation coming up.
What are the situation?
Hey,
You know?
there's a situation. This is what I'm getting tomorrow. Hit me. Like, what must I do? Oh, okay. You've got a condom, right? You've got a condom. I got like 5 packs.
And some of them are probably expired. Exactly. Some of that shit are probably gone.
Probably expired.
Yeah.
Yo, dog. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, man, come on, that's step one. We all know. You know?
We got
You don't
that.
want to catch the big, whatever. But anyway, the homies, like, I'm checking, like, yo, guys, what must you do? You know?
Yeah.
Like, when you get there, what must you do? The homies are like, no, man, just lift the skirt. throw it in. Like
How vague is
and I'm
that shit?
listening, dog, and like there's always those students who are naughty. They know all these things.
So when are you like, these niggas know what they're talking about?
No, like, yo, this nigga's this one. But the reason I'm telling all the stories is not because of that, dog. Like, we planned, like, this happened the following day.
Yeah.
So the following day, I get one guy. I'm gonna say his name because he's my guy.
What the fuck?
What's the Renzo? Remember Renzo? I get Renzo. I'm like, yo, dog, because for you to pull off this operation, you
need
can't
to
do
really
it alone.
watch out. Yeah.
You need somebody to on the lookout. Yeah. So I'm like, yo, dog, you know what's happening? I need a lookout guy. He's like, yo, dog, I got you. I got you. So I get the fucking keys to the storeroom. Mm-hmm. Early in the morning. You know, this happens early in the morning, dog. Like, before everybody gets to school.
This is like,
So I get there around like, 6, 7? Must be near 6:30 to 7 o'clock. Yeah. No, 7 o'clock is late. Let's say around
6.
Yeah,
6 a.m.
6 a.m. My heart was beating, dog. I'm sure if I didn't have a heart attack that day, I'm not gonna have a heart attack, dog. So I'm walking down into the school. My heart is beating so quickly, but it beat like 10 times more when I saw that girl waiting for me up there. I was like, shit.
So
this is happening.
She waited for
She
you.
got there before me, dog. Shit. I'm looking at her. My boy Renzo hitting me and like, yo, my boy,
You got this.
this is it.
Let's go.
Dog, I'm like, fuck, let's go. Dude, this is one of the funniest stories I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm driving. I'm walking up the stairs. She's waiting for me into the stairs. She doesn't even waste time. She knew. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I think she was probably having sex before me.
Yeah.
You know, I think so. I'm just going off
an
behavior.
assumption, yeah.
I'm assuming.
Going on behavior.
Yeah, just going off behavior. When I get there, she doesn't even waste time. Goes into the storeroom. Renzo is standing on the balcony looking out. Whatever high school I went to, I'm not gonna say the name. You must lock that fucking gate.
Everybody sees.
Lock that fucking gate. By the way, I'm sure it's worse now.
I'm sure.
Yeah. She goes into the storeroom. It's not comfortable, man. I mean, it must be 2 by 2 meters.
It's that.
Yeah, it's very small, man. It's just to put some brooms and a couple of textbooks in there. So, you gotta make use of what you got. When I get in there, bro, this girl, every time we meet, dog, I'll get so hard as fuck. But this day, dog, I'm nervous as fuck. My legs are shaking.
Yeah?
When the girl gets this, she jumps these shelves. She sits on the shelf, jumps, takes off her underwear.
Let's go.
And she's like, it's game time.
Yeah.
Did I not freeze, dog?
Whoa.
I don't know what the fuck overcame me that day, dog. Like, I'm there, I'm trying to kiss her, touch her, and all that. My dick was like, this is not gonna happen, my boy.
It's like, no, thank you.
But you would want to know what's going through my mind that time. I'm thinking somebody's gonna open the storeroom, somebody's coming from there. Did Renzo go away, run away, think somebody's gonna come inside? I'm like, fuck. Here I'm looking at this girl's thighs, they look so perfect, clean.
So
I'm
now your heartbeat is just crazy.
like, dog, I need this. But my dick was like, no.
You lie.
I swear to God, dog.
Who the fuck is ED at 16, dog?
It's not ED, dog. Fuck. Dude, I could not believe what was happening, dog.
What?
I swear to God, dog. I was like, what the fuck? So the girl is like, yo, dog, bring the
Let's
shit
go.
out. Yeah, she's been feeling it for me. She's been feeling my dick for quite some time.
So you're like, so she
She
knows.
knows what's up, and all that. But the homie's like, not today, my boy. I'm like, fuck, dog. Dog, I got so nervous. Now I'm sweating.
Yeah.
I must have had like saliva which is dried on my lips. Like everything was just going wrong. And I told the girl like, yo, I am too nervous for this shit.
No way.
I swear to God, it did not happen.
You gave up.
I gave up, dog, because now I'm thinking, in my head, they caught Renzo on top. Somebody's still coming for me. They're going to find me with my pants down, with this little girl's panties on the floor and shit like that. Now, my mom cannot see this.
So I need to wear my pants.
I need to wear my pants.
And she needs to get dressed.
Dog, she dresses up. I wear my pants. We walk out of the storeroom. I was like, oh, I know niggas are quick, dog. That was too quick, my boy. I'm like, what the fuck? Bro, I don't know, I don't know how I recovered from that shit, dog,
What
but
the fuck, bro?
look, obviously, this time there's no internet. You're not gonna go on YouTube and get a ED explanation of what happened.
Hi, little girl. Comment. Comment right below.
I mean, I doubt she'll see this, but I mean, she knows.
She knows.
She knows what happened.
No, I'm not gonna be fair to you. Surely you made this up.
Come again?
Surely you made this up to her somehow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I did.
Eventually.
Eventually I did.
Less nervous.
Less nervous in front of people.
So you were significantly more comfortable in front of people.
Yeah. Not that way in front of me, but
like there were
people around.
There was a bit more traffic, so you felt more comfortable somehow.
I had to redeem myself, dog.
Yeah.
I had to redeem myself, dog. After that day, I could not, when she was sitting on top of the shelf, I got a glimpse of the monkey. It's like, oh, fuck, that looks good.
I'm gonna
be up in all this.
And then the buddy was like, nah.
Dog, fuck. She must have thought I'm sick or something.
This might be the first Blue Chew advert in South Africa. This might be legitimately the first Blue Chew ad we'll have in this country.
Circling back to Adesanya and...
we're talking about the UFC.
Yeah. So, Adesanya is the poster boy of the UFC. So now, what happens is, when he's walking into that ring, he's looking confident. You can see he knows what he's going to do. That's me now. Nowadays.
No.
Yeah, now.
You were Sean Strickland back in the day.
Yeah. Now I've recovered it to easy level. But anyway, when he's walking into the ring, I can see that, man, he knows what he's about to do. You understand?
Step by step.
Everyone who follows MMA, or let me say who follows the UFC, was sure of what is going to happen on that day. Because for years, I wouldn't say for years, but for some time, Easy has been giving that attitude that, you know what, Sean Strickland, I'm going to do whatever I want with
baby
you.
Though.
I'm going to do what I want with you. It's not something that it's going to be an event and all that. So, but anyway, he gets into the ring. I'm looking at his eyes. He's looking the same way he was when he was fighting Pereira. Confident and all that. Boom.
Pereira the second time.
Yeah, the second time. Even the first time. Look, man, when they fought both occasions, he looked in top-notch confidence and all that. He knew he can get over this hurdle. I could see it in his face every time he explained. Sometimes when you're explaining something, but when you want a girl and you're telling guys that, dude, I can get this girl. And every time you try, she says no. But you get to see why she said no at that time. You change that.
So you're like, I'll change that. I got this.
Yeah, you knew you can get to that level. So, but anyway, I see the same confidence he has. Boom, round one, Sean Strickland drops him. Was the right to the jaw.
I didn't watch this fight.
He's on the ground. He hits him with about 26 punches. Usually, a referee will stop
on the floor.
Yeah, while he's on the floor trying to get up.
Yeah.
About 26 punches to the head. But okay, Adesanya was defending it a little bit,
so
and he
like
even gave the referee
I'm
still fine, because the UFC referees are brutal sometimes. They obviously they can see a few signs, but sometimes they get it wrong. So he was just praying that people believe he's the first fight with Pereira. He was actually okay, but the ref stopped the game, and then the match and all that. So, but now, after that first round, the Adesanya that came back, it's nothing I've seen in my life. The nerves I had from the second round to the fifth round. I'm trying to, I wish I could get in the fucking TV and talk to this guy. Because now he's fainting. Yeah, Adesanya is the best with his feints. He's setting something up. So he's just fainting, trying to see, okay, are you reading this? Are you reading this? He's doing all that. Second round, he wins the second round. Clean. He's a better fighter in the second round. Third round, he's still doing the same thing. But now Strickland is catching him here and there, but he's not catching Strickland.
Is he fainting for nothing?
He's fainting, but what he's trying to set up, Strickland reads.
Okay.
He's blocking the leg kicks. He's blocking the hits to the face. Can't get through.
Chill.
20 minutes. Let me say 15 minutes. Round 3 to round 5. All Strickland. Strickland is landing and he's blocking. I wouldn't say Strickland did anything miraculous. He did the basics right, which is, that's how most of the legends are born.
That's how you win. Yeah,
you just get the basics to the T. Reds are the Sanya's game. I don't know what Eugene is Adesanya's coach, there were some very specific things he had to say to Adesanya. First thing, Adesanya is using leg kicks and setting things up. He's not using his knees. He's not using his elbows. Just feints, shots, leg kicks, nothing else. Strickland reading all those things.
Sheesh.
You know Adesanya to be the most dynamic fighter in the UFC. Okay, not the most, but one of the best.
He can adjust.
Yeah, he can adjust to such. If you look at his previous fights, the adjustments he made are so absolutely. That's why he's a legend today, because of those adjustments that he can make to the game. But I did not see that during that fight.
Nothing.
Like, it was one of the things which, you know, I don't know, man. Which soccer player, when you saw him playing the last days, you could see that, nah, man, this ain't it. Like, I don't want to say Ronaldo.
Like, it's gone, you think?
No, he's not gone.
Oh, okay.
But he showed those signs during that fight, which it's so heartbreaking when you've seen somebody so confident go into an eggshell and just, this is a big character.
This is unlike you,
and
yeah.
now you can see him like, he's at his deathbed. It's like when you see your father fail. It's not my father, but it's one of those things you can see that, no, it's not
you have
going
an expectation.
Yeah, like, it's not going the way you would wanted it. But my biggest takeaway from this fight is Adesanya is, I feel like he's reached a level where New Zealand cannot do more for him.
Like, he needs to leave. He needs to be American.
I know he's building a big ass house in New Zealand and all that, but he needs to pack his bags and leave city kickboxing.
No, which is the crazy part. Like, literally, I think UFC, however much work they've done internationally in growing their brand in America, growing their brand in Europe, what they have, Adesanya has been a blessing to them, especially locally.
Yeah.
In South Africa, across Africa, is just a guy who's proudly African, who's proudly Nigerian rapping. So it's one of those things where I think I watched the second Pereira fight.
Yeah.
I didn't watch this one. I watched the Whittaker fight.
Yeah.
Yes. So the Pereira fight he lost, I didn't see. So it's one of those things where we've bought into him. We've bought into him as a character. We agreed to him as a character, and he's just killing it in terms of he's making the UFC more visible here. Yeah. So it's one of those things. Yeah, he's marketable. He's a cool guy, man. Like I've watched him on a couple.
There's just something I don't understand about people. People hate winners, man. Like, there's this legion. No, I'm serious, man. Like, not even on a funny way, but there's this legion of people who hate successful people. I don't know where the fuck does that come from, but in every sport, there's this people. I mean, Adesanya is not supposed to be a heel. If you're a man who's between 18 and 40, you should be vibing to the kind of the spirit that he's bringing, the kind of vibe that he's bringing. I mean, like, he's the one of the UFC stars that's liked by celebrities. I mean, he's hanging out with Drakes and them. He's hanging out with the big stars. I mean, he's actually, like, if you like MMA and you would like MMA to be one of the biggest sports in the world, that's a guy you should be pushing. And he's likable to the casual. You get it? But now, UFC fans always have this thing that when somebody's on a streak or when somebody's doing so well, the downfall becomes
that's the thing. Like, literally,
you think that's every sport?
That's everything in life,
right?
That's literally everything in life. Like, literally, just to bring it simplistic, man. Yeah. We can all be in the hood. We can all come from a township somewhere. We can all come from a village somewhere. Let's say, what I know, these guys are good, and all of this. Once one of us makes it, bro, that's where you start hearing rumors. What damn these days, this guy's like this, what lawyer, the snakes and shit like that. It's because at a most basic level, when you're equal, when somebody who's your equal transcends what you felt your level was, instead of you thinking of it as that allows me to transcend a level, it allows you to know that you are failing to transcend that level.
That's true.
So a lot of people, instead of perceiving it as inspiration, perceiving it as possibility, unfortunately, a lot of people perceive it as as offense to me. If you do that, you are highlighting the fact that I can't.
My failure.
Yes. So now I need to find an explanation to why you did it and I can't. So one is because this and that. Two
Is it a black thing or is
No, it's across the board,
It's
bro.
across the board.
I think it's across the board. Like
crabs in the bucket?
Yeah, literally. Who's this? Boxing. In boxing, Mayweather is what 50-0, bro.
Yeah.
And he's fought so many people, got those people out of the way.
Yeah.
And to this day, the thing is, no, he avoided the big fights. Like, what are you even talking about?
Yeah.
It's because you cannot perceive that somebody got undefeated.
Yeah.
Like the best hip hop artists of all time.
Don't put a name to it, please.
Okay. It's a bit obvious. It seems like
it's never gonna be a bit obvious.
Is it not obvious?
The best rapper of all time.
No, I think there's consensus there.
No way.
There's consensus there. There's nobody. Okay, if I say Jay-Z, who I'm gonna say, nobody's gonna argue it.
I would definitely argue Jay-Z as the best rapper of all time. No, he's not.
Okay,
Do you want to get into that?
I don't
on
want
our
to
first episode.
I don't
think we should
I
get
don't want to
into
get
that.
into it. I'm just highlighting.
Okay, but he's the most common.
Who
Like,
is
I
the
feel
most common answer?
Yeah,
Yes.
probably.
So with that being the most common answers, they're like typical hits to his name.
Yeah.
That people will attempt to give.
Yeah.
None of the hits will ever go to his skill. None of the hits will ever go to his content. Or none of his hits. None of those counters ever go to what he's capable of.
Yeah.
Which is then my point. Like however much you can achieve in life.
Yeah.
Like there's always somebody to counter it.
To eclipse it.
Yeah, that was I laughed because I was actually on Twitter. X, do we call it X now?
Yeah. It's definitely X because, I knew they got Twitter out of here when you retweet something it says repost.
Is it repost now?
It says repost. I don't know what the fuck Elon hates about Twitter so much. But yeah, now when you retweet something, it says repost.
Shit.
And
So I guess I was on X. I was on X recently and there was...
so wrong though.
It does. I was on Twitter recently and then I saw trends. There was this trending topic where women were talking about when was the moment where you knew your friend hated you.
Yeah.
Again, I'm going to highlight that it was women because it's a lot of...
Did you say I'm going to highlight that as a woman?
I'm going to highlight that it was women because to me, honestly, guys, like, not that I read all the tweets, it just... All of those tweets were just some hating ass tweets. Like, it was always just, no.
So the tweet said,
yeah,
when did you realize that your friend hates you?
Yeah, so the what do you call it? The core tweets, the base tweet was when was the moment that you realized that your friend hated you?
Yeah.
I'll give credit next time to whatever Twitter user saying that, and then people started responding.
Yeah.
In their responses, it was just like, nah.
When I bought a car,
she achieved this, and then
didn't call me,
and then I didn't do. Yeah, she didn't do this towards me, or I achieved this, and she didn't do that towards me. Like it was never. We were at an equal plane, and then something
happened.
At equivalent level happened.
Yeah.
It was always either I elevated, or she did.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
I get you.
So elevation always perceives beef, man.
Yeah.
It always that's the thing with Easy. Easy has elevated. If it was just some guy losing fights and occasionally winning fights, and speaking about anime and how anime inspires him and how much he likes New Zealand, nobody would care.
Yeah.
The issue becomes when he transitions, when he becomes
the star.
The star he says he is.
He's a big star, by the way.
He's a big star, that guy, man.
If there's one thing they struggle with, in the MMA world is they don't embrace the star. I feel like, look how many followers Messi has. Do you think everybody who's watching Messi and all that is really a Barcelona fan or what is he, an Inter Miami fan? No, others are just following him because of the light that he brought to the sport. That's how I feel like Easy should be treated. The light that he has brought to the sport. As a casual MMA fan, you don't have to hate on that. He's already elevating something you really enjoy. So how about, give the flowers to somebody who has made this thing interesting? You know, he made the sport interesting.
He did.
Like,
He
there's
definitely
nothing-
got a lot of people I know interested in the sport.
Yeah.
And he's one of those things.
Yeah, man.
So would you say that's your in episode 1? I don't know if we can say, if I'm ever to interview somebody, is it easy? Is it Dana White?
I think we could actually. I think easy going. Should we do well in this part?
You
I
think?
feel like he would come on. He would. I mean, like, as long as we're not trashing him every episode. I mean, like, yeah, that's where the problems comes. You know, I mean, these guys are fighters. They've got too much ego. They've got too much, trust issues with the people they talk with and all that. But I'm not saying we should kiss his ass for an interview.
But you think there
he's
exists
one
a
of the
world
guys-
where he can be a...
I feel like he's cool.
Yeah,
I feel like
yeah.
we would have a really cool conversation. I mean, like, I would want to know how he felt when he fought his idol and Silver. I mean, like, that was one of the most, when you get into a sport and you get to compete with somebody who you look up to. I mean, that's a highlight. So I would like to know such things and all that. But obviously, the meat is into the current feeling right now. As I'm not saying this demise or all that, but when he's at his lows, how you get to hear somebody's story and how he's taking the loss and all that. Because now, one thing he said in his previous interviews was, when I lost, I was happy. I mean, the people who like me, his people who support him, when they heard he's okay, they became okay. You get what I'm saying? But now he didn't give us that thing. He didn't give us that feeling. There was no interview. There was nothing.
Pause the fight.
Yeah, pause this fight.
Is it?
So he just quickly gave it a 1 minute remark and left. Left it to the coach to finish off the story. But anyway, man, we've been going on for a while now. We were at the Trevor Noah show on Friday.
We were, man. We were. That's another guy we... It actually goes with topic, I think. Because that's one of those... It actually goes with topic because I feel like that's another version of somebody who has elevated beyond what we had set for him. And I think the general public they're waiting on him, eh?
Yeah. So how do you feel about the show? You have been so general about it.
No, not just the show per se. Like it's more of what
Trevor Noah has exceeded everybody's expectations.
That's the thing, Trevor Noah.
But why was his trajectory so quick, man? Like, was he that funny? Or was it just a moment which just felt right for the Americans to put him on the show?
He's a German guy. You see, that's hate. You see how hate looks like? Hate looks like that. Hate looks like when you call Trevor Noah German. That's how you know you are hating.
Yeah.
But no, like I just think we saw it, man. I think when we were hyping him up, Daywalker 1, Daywalker 2,
yeah.
those things were classics. Bro.
Yeah, those are classics.
So he also has the ability to assimilate. And I think he's
smart.
He's smart. He's a smart guy.
Very
Like
smart.
literally.
I mean, like, sorry to interject there, but growing up in South Africa, there's a certain political system you get used to, and you get used to analyzing it in a certain form and all that. To move to America and become one of the most dominant or the most what can I say? The most sought out political commentator in another country. I mean, you can't hate that. But anyway, let's talk about the show on Friday.
The show on Friday, yes, I agree.
How do you feel about that show?
The show on Friday, it goes with what you just said, the assimilation. I was actually talking to my wife, who I went to the show with, about how he's recording it. I can tell I think I saw people take pictures of him.
Yeah.
So he's wearing the same thing. So I think he's recording it for some sort of special.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about how there's like a 40-minute set he has.
Yeah.
On load shedding, on South African kids, on us being survivors, all of that.
He's just gonna give it away, huh?
I'm not gonna give it away. It's just a summary.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't think this set works in Paris. I don't think this set works in Belgium. I don't think it works in America. So it's either a 40-minute bit you are making specifically for South Africans for the show and whatever special you came out with.
Yeah.
Or you have an additional 40 minutes everywhere you go. And I'm just thinking that's
work.
That's work.
Yeah.
Because it was a solid 40.
It was solid. Yeah.
It was a solid 40. It was just the That's what I noted. I like Trevor Noah's comedy when Trevor Noah is speaking to us.
Yeah.
So that 40 minutes where he was speaking to us and
Yeah.
our things, I enjoyed it.
Do you think he does that to every country he goes to? Like, do you think he would when he hits Germany and all that? Okay, I understand the UK and America would be easier, but countries like Germany, let's say he's in, I almost said Livdia. What's that country?
Latvia.
Latvia. But anyway, I was looking for an arbitrary country. Do you think he curtails the comedy to fit those people, or he has an international sort of like set which should be one size fits all for the rest of the world?
But that's my thing. I don't see, in being at being his comedy show, at watching it, I don't see. I see the general jokes.
Yeah.
Like I see the ones that are general.
Yeah, generic.
And that's what I'm saying. The generic ones honestly don't work for me.
Yeah.
I can't even lie. The generic
So
the
you
generic
like the
ones.
customized ones
I
too?
like the customized. As South African, we understand this. Like where you like literally it's been what 4 days now. And every time I get to a robot, I just keep on saying to myself, like,
Don't give it away.
oh fuck,
Don't give it away. Let the people see during the special.
let the people see what they see. But there's a
Yeah.
particular line he says, and it just hits.
It hits.
It hits.
Yeah.
So to me, it's just
You look at white women differently now.
I look at one differently. It's just very specific and very custom fitted.
Yeah.
And as just a comedy setup, it works.
Yeah.
So to me, I just look at it and not necessarily worry. I just wonder what the special looks like and what he does when he's trying to be generic.
Yeah.
Because honestly, on a generic sense, it feels generic. So it
Yeah.
doesn't work.
Look, man.
What did you think of the set? Maybe.
Look, I enjoyed the show as a South African.
Okay.
First of all, obviously I'm South African, and the jokes are very much customized to a South African. And I feel like there's no way you're not gonna laugh at that shit. Because I mean, he's speaking to you, speaking to everything that you do, and all that. You understand? So it's customized to a South African. But honestly, somewhere ke nagana hore Trevor wa re nyatsa.
Ooh.
Or is it why I'm saying that? We didn't get international jokes, which he might think or it won't work in South Africa. You get what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know if comedians are making jokes about Vladimir Putin or something, but we're not getting those jokes which are obvious. I mean, there's so much content out there on the international scene and all that, which we didn't get. I mean, it was just South African jokes. So, as I perceive Trevor now, I see him as an international act. So when I go to his shows, I'm not really looking for South African flavored comedy. I'm looking for an international act. But what I saw with Trevor, he looked like a guy who just is still in South Africa.
You are looking that you are looking. This is where we. This is the first time we show that we are polar opposites in perspective.
Yeah.
So you looking at that as disrespectful. I'm looking at that as respectful. I'm looking at that as
He's
you
customizing it for me.
went in and you're like, okay, cool. I need to be respectful of my guys.
Yeah.
And then he did it that way. You look at it as
This is like,
you thought we wouldn't get it.
yeah, you dumb it down.
He dumbed it down.
Yeah.
But that's you calling South African comedy dumb.
No, you're not expecting a reaction from the South African crowd if you speak about something that's happening internationally. You get what I'm saying? So now you're just saying, okay, the South African, this is what you deserve. You deserve load shedding. You deserve robot jokes. You deserve Cyril jokes. You get what I'm saying? It's strictly for a South African. But I used to like that when Trevor was upcoming. But now as an international citizen, I want to hear jokes about Barack killing people in his lake. I want to hear jokes about Barack Obama being gay. I want to hear jokes about Vladimir Putin. I want to hear jokes about... You get what I'm saying? You're an international guy.
I get your perspective.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he's saying, no, South Africans, I'm going to customize this for you guys because I'm here. You get what I'm saying? When I'm listening to Chris Rock, as much as he's talking about America, he's throwing everything in there. And he won't suffer from that because he's not from here. So now you ask yourself, how does a Kevin Hart show become better than a Trevor Noah show in South Africa? You get what I'm saying?
Oh, I didn't go to the Kevin Hart show. You went.
Yeah, but the Kevin Hart show was more intriguing to me than the Trevor Noah show. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
He's making jokes about things which are on TikTok, and he expects South Africans to have seen that, even though they happen in America. You get what I'm saying?
Okay, I
He's telling you
understand.
a joke about something that happened on the international level. But
So you would not appreciate, like, what
not
if
that I don't appreciate. Look, I love
no,
the whole
not
thing.
appreciate it. More like if Kevin Hart was to make a, what can I say?
What if
Like
Kevin
a
Hart?
Shaka Ilembe joke. You wouldn't be like, oh shit.
I mean, that'll rub me. That'll rub me nicely. You
That's
get
what I'm saying,
Yeah, but it's because he's not from here. But when Trevor does it, I'm like, ugh. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, you get what I'm saying. If
That's
Kevin,
controversial, but I wanna say that
if
too.
Kevin Hart goes to Philadelphia and starts making Philadelphia kind of jokes,
They might feel the same
that's
way.
fucked up. You get what I'm saying?
I get what
You're
you
a
mean.
big boy now. Treat us.
come
Let
here,
us
make big
elevate
boy
with you.
jokes.
You get what I'm saying?
I get what you mean.
Anyway,
man.
dog, we could go on.
We could go
on
on
and
forever,
but
man.
I feel like, for the very first episode, we covered what we could, and I have to say we were very unprepared for this fucking
Very,
episode.
very.
You
Like,
know,
I think if I am to be fair to us, I think we're a bit more freestylish, yeah?
Yeah.
I think next time
We should be
we
better.
won't do much of either.
Yeah.
We're not gonna be very preachy. We're not gonna be very anything. Any episode you get will be rather specific to that particular time in our lives.
Yeah.
So I guess right now we're what we are right now, and then it's gonna be.
This is it. This is how we would talk if we were
This is how
drinking
we're gonna-
somewhere.
Literally, like we could take the cameras off.
Yeah.
And this is how me and Tooms are gonna talk, and I hope you enjoy this.
Yeah.
I really think this is gonna be one of those things where we're just chilling and we're like, oh, okay, let's
We
take
should
the.
stop drinking during the episode.
We should
Yeah.
not stop drinking during the episodes.
Alright.
But the camera switched off.
Yeah.
But we're still on audio, so he's gonna freestyle a send off.
Okay, but anyway, guys, thanks for chilling with us during our very first episode of the Coming Chaos podcast. I'm Tooms, and this is D Boy. See you in the next episode.
Let go.
Cheers. Let go.